We've got the padding enabled as well, so it's a bit, away from the edges, the border and the background color. So basic CSS that we've made. However, it's fundamental that we have all these, like the position absolute and the left and top 10 by 10, because this is important with regards to actually making it scroll down the page. So if you were to style this in any other way, the properties that you might want to change are these ones here. You can obviously change the top and the left, but the position absolute is absolutely necessary. So now what we want to do is go over to ext.js, which, like I mentioned, I have included as an external JavaScript file as well as jQuery, and we want to go ahead and start writing this out. So the first thing we want to do is, once our document is ready, so we use the document ready handler, inside here we want to outline a function, and this is just everything that's going to run once the DOM has been loaded. Okay, so what we want to do is go ahead and actually, first of all, we'll go ahead and just fade this in, just as a basic effect. So we can go ahead and use a jQuery selector to select this div, which is called follow, and we want to go ahead and fade this in. So a basic animation or effect in jQuery, and I've set this to a speed of normal, but obviously you can choose a speed in milliseconds, or you can choose slow or fast. So we have slow, fast, or we can go ahead and give it a number that we want to a number of seconds that we want to fade it in by. So I've got 1,000 here, which obviously represents 1 second, or we could have something a bit longer like 3 seconds, and you can see that would just well, it hasn't faded it in for some reason. Let's just go and check why this might be. Oh, okay, yeah, that's because we currently have the element shown already. So back to style.css, we want to go and say display none. And now when we refresh, you can see that will fade in of a period of 3 seconds. But we don't want it that far or that slow, so we'll just stick to 1 second. Okay, so now what we want to do is actually make it scroll down the page. So we need to use the window selector. We need to select window and then use the scroll event handler. So we use window.scroll. Window is the place that we are sort of referencing, the selector, and scroll is the event handler. So essentially what this means is when we scroll down the page, and inside here we want to go ahead and create our function, and all this content just here is going to happen as we start to scroll either down or back up again. So every time we scroll, we perform the set of actions within here. And the first thing we want to do is actually get the top of, we want to get a variable that's the top of the window. So we want to, for example, say var top, so we're setting a variable called top, and then we want to get the position of the scroll, so window dot scroll top, and this will give the top of the window's value essentially. So wherever we are, we can like add an amount onto this, but we'll just go ahead and actually set the CSS of the div. So what we want to do is we want to, as the window scrolls down, let's just say we go ahead and scroll down to about here. Let's just say that's scrolled down 50 pixels, for example. Now, by scrolling down 50 pixels, we've now set this var top to equal 50. So what we need to go ahead and do is change the CSS properties of top to the amount that we've scrolled. For example, if we'd scrolled down 50 pixels, we want this to be top plus 10. So essentially we're just taking this variable top, which represents how many pixels have been scrolled down, and then we want to make this equal or equal plus 10 to the relative position or the absolute position of our div. So we can go ahead and again select follow, and we want to set the CSS properties of follow, and this will modify, obviously not file modify, but it will temporarily modify this top value here. And we want to select the top value, so we're modifying the top property, which we can find here, and we want to set that to top, because top is now the current position that the user has scrolled, or the amount of pixels that the user has scrolled. Essentially the top of the script, how much it's scrolled.